And really, in a marriage, husband and wife are really sharpening each other. You don't have to be married to have this happen. You can be close friends and it can happen too. And it depends. You can even have it happen within the sacred writings, because they do the same thing. They mirror you. So if I'm conversing with my husband and he says something and I get moved out of my shalom and I get irritated, the first thing I have learned to do, and I used to not do this. This was something that was revealed to me. I didn't even know that the Emerald Tablets talked about this. I had no idea that there's been other writings that talked about this. The Spirit said, hey, this has nothing to do with Ken. This has everything to do with you, because I had been working on going on the inside. So I take a look and I see, why am I irritated? Why did that move me out of my shalom? So instead of blowing up or saying, hey, you're wrong, you said this and it hurt my feelings, instead of projecting it outward like Ken did something to me, he's my mirror to show me exactly what's going on inside of me, what I need to deal with. And so many times I've actually been able to take some of those things and trace it back to childhood woundings. And a lot of times it comes with fear of abandonment, rejection, not being heard, not being respected. I mean, on and on and on from childhood wounds. So for me, when I see the practical application is, my beast ego wants to sit up here and control me and affect all of my hormones, my whole limbic system. It wants to control my body and how I respond to other people, if I allow it to, unless I take thoughts captive. So before I say something in a response to my own trigger, because I got moved out of shalom, what is really truly bothering me? And as soon as we do that, we can see our partners, we can see our parents, we can see our friends, we can see our loved ones, we can see even who we would call the enemy that we're dueling with, to see what is it that really is bothering me about myself. And the bottom line is that we have the potential for good and evil. We are the tree of life, and we are the tree of good and evil. They are the same exact thing. When we got put into duality, this tree of life had an overlay. It had an overlay of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. That's us. We're dual. We're split. So we have the potential for all those things. So even when we see evil in the world, because I did share through definition that evil are those who are children that do things to harm others because they haven't grown up. They don't realize that they are hurting themselves, because we're all one. So they will do things to other people. They skip the golden rule. They don't have mother's teaching whatsoever, which is meant to tame the beast ego nature. And they just keep harming people. But it's a projection from the pain that's on the inside, because hurt people hurt people. So guaranteed that the people that are doing evil in the world are still children that are acting out of childhood wounds, projecting it on other people because they are hurting and they are doing terrible things. You can go on and see how far it goes and how far it projects based on how deep their wounds are. And because of that, they skip their heart. Mother's teaching is meant to pierce our heart so that we are aware of our actions and what we are doing, if we're harming other people or not. Because it really comes back to us taking accountability for our own actions, our own words, our own deeds. So when my husband does something to tick me off, it's usually because it's something on the inside of me that I need to address. Because really, if I'm in shalom, anything that he says and does shouldn't bother me. I'm like, oh, okay. That's your projection. That's the way you are seeing. I get it. Because he does the same thing. He projects on me his own stuff. And there's been times where I've had to address it and say, that is not mine. That is yours. That has nothing to do with me. That is your wrestle. And I love you, but that's not me. And so being able to practically apply that in relationships is being able to own your own junk and your own hurts and whatnot, so that you can build the relationship instead of it always being a projecting that you're the problem, that it's not me. You're the problem. You're the reason why I'm unhappy. You're the reason why I'm feeling this way. No, you're just projecting all of that on your partner so you can see yourself. So hopefully that answers your question in the practical application of how I would apply all of this information and checking with my beast ego nature. Because the beast ego is all of the stuff that is fear. is anxiety, it is control, it is manipulation, it is shame, it is guilt.
Yep. Awesome answer. Thank you.
You're welcome. It changed my life when I saw this. It changed all of my relationships, every single one of them. My relationship with my parents, with my best friend Regina here, with my stepson, specifically with my stepson, that was a big one. And most importantly, where I'm at with my husband. It set him free. Because that's what you're doing. You're setting everyone free for them to have the freedom to be themselves while you're dealing with your own self. And trying to, instead of looping them into your emotional conflict, you're freeing them from your emotional conflict. Big, big change. So hopefully practical application, we can go from there, because that's really what the wife is doing. So in other words, to finish that up, that which is on the inside is going to be revealed. And that is why they praise her, because it's evident that the wife has done all of that inside work, all of that shadow work, the potential of the good and the evil. Your shadow side, you're going to always have with you. You can't get rid of it. So you might as well embrace it and go, you know what? It's there. It's there. It's a tool for me to become into oneness harmony and to love myself unconditionally, knowing that the shadow's there. And when the shadow shows up, that means I got out of shalom. It's a tool. It's a barometer for us to see what's going on the inside. Hey, you got some stress, so you're doing your shadow thing, Carrie. Oh, yeah, I do. Better get into some meditation, better figure out what's going on because my shadow is showing up. It's a tool. It's a beautiful tool if we can see it to be an incredible teacher for us. And that's the way I see our shadow. It's an amazing teacher. If you will listen to it and learn from it, so that you can become your true authentic self and trying to put masks on, showing everybody that you're spiritually perfect, because we're not. We're mature. That's the difference in the Hebrew language. To be perfect, to be without spot or wrinkle, it's the word that means to be mature. That changes the whole narrative, to be mature.